What's up everyone, welcome to Akuma's Arsenal, and today we're going to be talking about, first off, let's talk about some stuff about the channel. So yeah, I got new glasses, as you can see here. In the later videos I might say that, oh yeah, I got new glasses, but yeah, I got new glasses. Yeah, also if you guys want to sign up for my mailing list where I send out like cool listings that I found, like the other day I found the Sub-Zero 15, which is something I never knew of until Arnie sent me it. So, for example, if you guys are interested in just seeing what kind of listings I find, just sort of watches that I stumbled across or get recommended, sign up for the mailing list down below. There'll just be a link. Just follow the directions in the link, and let's get started with today's video. Today we are going to be, and I don't want to say reviewing, because reviewing makes it seem like, I don't know, I don't like that word, but yeah, we're going to be looking at Yoon's watch collection. So, this is the third time I've filmed it, but yeah, because he picked up 2 new vintage pieces and I want to include them into the video. Here's the 2 pieces that I recently acquired. Vintage Yoon hands. I love the looks of the Max Bill designs I found in Yoon hands, and also wanted a German piece. That's when we search for Yoon hands. It's 31mm, which is small for most guys, but I rock it proudly. Hand winding goodness, it is awesome. It is on an awesome, genuine ostrich strap. You know, I was actually looking at vintage Yoon hands the other day, because not even the other day, like a couple months ago, and it's you can really pick up some really good stuff. I can't think of anything off the bat, but I remember it being definitely under $500. So yeah, that's basically what I did was I was trying to figure out if vintage Yoon hands was a thing, you know, if that was cool, and from looking at this piece, it sure is. I love the way the ostrich yellow strap matches the gold hands on the, the gold hands. Very lovely. I love that retro design. Very stunning piece. I love the ostrich in the combination with the gold accents. The next piece was inspired by my recent interest in Cartier and the GLC Reverso. I can't spend the amount for them right now, so I went vintage hunting and found this little elegant courtier. It's hand-winding, Roman numerals, and has blue cabocon. Excuse my pronunciation. I love it. So much value. Now to put it on a nice replacement strap. Unfortunately, I don't have 18mm bands at the moment. This one is also tiny at 28mm wall, 31mm wide. And it is very beautiful. That is a very stunning Cartier kind of tank-looking wristwatch. Love that. I'm gonna just take a guess and say that's alligator. It's so beautiful. It has this very elegant sort of design to it. My grandmother has a Cartier, and I haven't seen it yet, but it's somewhere in the house, and I'll be reviewing it soon. So I'll probably be able to get a little bit of physical view of kind of how these kind of watches look in real life, because in pictures they just look so clean. I love the Courtier. I've never heard of the company before. Probably first time for a lot of you guys too. But it's a very lovely wristwatch. And I wonder if it's mechanical, is it quartz, when was it made? I have no clue about anything about the Courtier. Also with the Yoon hands, I wonder when this is made. I'm gonna guess, let's go with 60s. Yeah, I'm gonna go 60s for the Yoon hand. Does he say? No, but I don't think it's a Max Bill Yoon hand, so it's just one of those. Yeah, it has no branding. And if you guys have any information about these wristwatches, you know, leave a comment. I'd love to learn more about these. Oh, guys, if you're interested, follow Eric on Instagram. It's let's see what it is. I'll leave a little stamp, and I'll put it in the description. I believe it's knives _and_ watches. Turns out he's a knife collector too. I'll read you this. So, and the reason why it has knives included, because my hobby before watches was collecting knives. I had a large amount of knives, 20 plus, and it ranged from Walmart bought knives at $30 to custom made knives at $8,000. This is where my funds for my watches came from. Being a college student myself, it is a blessing that I get to own my current timepieces. Yes, I started with literally nothing, but after saving and working my way up in my knife collection by buying, trading, and selling, I unknowingly accumulated a lot of material wealth by just having fun with the hobby. That's really cool. Eventually my love for watches won over my love for knives because I was also an EDC guy. That included a multi-tool, a flashlight, a knife, and of course a watch. So I made the decision to sell off all my knives to afford my timepieces. This is where my watches came from, primarily my 2 Rolexes. Currently I'm attending university and I'm blessed to have enough scholarships to cover all of my educational expenses. Very cool. However, I'm working part-time to make some money in order to continue to afford my watches and to afford my everyday living expenses. Can't eat McDonald's every day just to save money for watches. Working and hustling as a student to keep my hobby going. Here's a picture of it I found. Wow. And of course there'll be a picture up. That is very clean. Wow. it just reeks of quality. I wonder what knives you ended up keeping. I'm really curious because if you had 20 plus, like, you got to keep one. So I wonder which one you ended up keeping. I'm actually looking at when I have enough money, and this is one of the things where it's just like it's fairly expensive, and I'm not into knives, so it's like I'll just keep putting it off until I probably get a significant amount of money. It's the Spyderco Techno. It's a kind of a chubbier looking knife. The blade's pretty thick. I think Spyderco made it in collaboration with another company, and if not, that doesn't really matter. But yeah, look it up, the Spyderco Techno. I remember, this is when he had to send me bigger resolution pictures, so here we go. Hey man, just got my video done, and I'm ready to send you my collection for review. So what he means by that is I think a little bit a while ago, not that long ago, less than a month, he made a collection video. So yeah, I'll leave a link. Of course, I'll leave a link to his channel, and you guys can check that out. First off, I'd like to thank you for doing this review. Currently, I have a no-date Rolex Submariner reference 114060, Rolex Datejust 2 reference 116300, black dial with white index markers, vintage Omega Genie blue dial, white G-Shock GLX 5600, and a vintage Seiko Flightmaster reference B657-8120. Like most people, I started my collection off with entry-level pieces, all from Seiko. I had the Seiko SKX, the Seiko SK371, the Seiko SSC017, Cyber 033, and my dad's vintage Seiko Flightmaster, model V657-8120. All the Seikos except for the vintage Flightmaster was sold to upgrade my collection into new pieces. Ever since I got him a Seiko SSC081 a few years ago, he consistently wore that piece instead of his Flightmaster, so the piece was given to me. The vintage Seiko is special because I remember growing up with it because my dad always had it on whenever I was a kid. The watch is a symbol of adulthood and manliness because when I was younger, I thought watches were for men who had to go to work and not grown up. The piece serves as a reminder of my childhood and a link between me and my dad since we both enjoy watches. The next piece has to be my G-Shock. I got this piece after graduating middle school. I got it because some strange reason in my middle school it was just cool to own a white G-Shock. And at that point I realized just how useful it would be to have the time on my wrist since I wasn't allowed to pull out my phone during school. Funny enough, I had a white dial G-Shock in middle school also, so that's yeah, it was pretty cool. It stays in my collection to this day because of my memories associated with the piece. This piece is my test-taking watch since I took it to every major exam I took. I needed a reliable timepiece to keep my pace while taking tests. Being a digital display, it was extremely easy to read the time at a first glance. Keep it in chronological order. My first luxury timepiece was my Mega Speedmaster reference 31130-4230-01006 with sapphire crystal. So just, yeah, sapphire display back named the Sapphire Sandwich that comes with a large presentation box. Currently, I don't own this piece because I needed funds for not watch-related businesses. The piece was sold because I grew out of it at the moment, but I'll end up wanting it again in the future. It was the first piece that really had me looking into more expensive pieces and helped me discover what kind of style watches I like. Recently, me and Arnie were, what were we doing? We were eating sweet potato fries at our local brewery, and he had his Omega Speedmaster reduced, and just holding it in my hands, it just kind of, you look at this watch so much online, and once you finally have it in your hand, it's just a completely different experience. And what I found with the 38mm version is just that there's something really different about the Omega Speedmaster. I don't know about the sapphire sandwich. I've never handled it, but I think it's really really cool that it has a sapphire display back. But yeah, the Speedmasters have something about them. The next piece was my Rolex Submariner Pre-Ceramic 14060. This piece was the one that started my appreciation for the Submariner. Unfortunately, I knew that the upgraded bracelet, bezel, dial, case size, and lume of the ceramic 114060 version would make me happier, so this was sold in order to get the 114060. I prefer the pre-ceramic sub, so yeah, that's cool that you found which one was right for you. The next piece is my Rolex Submariner No Date 114060. This piece is my favorite. It's what really kept me looking down at my wrist, whether it be at home, outside, or at school. I got this piece for my 19th birthday. I know there's a lot of hate associated with the sub. They say everyone has a Submariner, but okay, first of all, not everyone has a Submariner. That's actually a very, very, very rare thing. Yeah. But I know myself well enough to say that I bought the sub for what it is, not just to follow the hype. I'm sure, because you're a watch guy. That's because this watch is so robust and I can handle any type of environment. I don't baby my watches, I just know how to take care of them. I wear my sub with any outfit since it's that versatile. Yes it is. I wonder if you have a Datejust and you have a sub, which one do you wear in certain situations? If you see people wearing the sub in tuxes now, which I personally find distasteful, and to do wear your Datejust, or do you wear your sub? I'm just curious which goes where, especially since it's a Datejust 2, it's larger. I wouldn't know, at least because it's not my collection, where I'd wear certain pieces. My latest acquisition is my vintage Omega Geneve with the caliber of 1481 that does a unique quick set function that operates by pushing down the crown like a button. That's very, very, very cool. This one centered my love and appreciation for vintage pieces. He said this before, so this was his first vintage piece, and looking at the ones you got later on, like this Omega Geneve really inspired you to pick up some really cool stuff. I'm looking to pick up a Rolex Datejust 1601 blue dial to match my Geneve for my next purchase. My middle-term goal is an Omega Speedmaster Coaxial 300, and my long-term goal includes a steel Rolex Daytona in black. As you can tell, I really like steel watches with black dial or blue dials that can be both dressy and sporty. So I learned that category of watches that I like. Personally, I refined sports watches. Sorry for the long message. I just want to give you a full rundown. Thanks, Eric. I think later on he asked me, what my thoughts were, but yeah, we shoot back and forth, and Eric first off the bat is a really cool, chill guy. Watching his videos, he has a really soft kind of voice, but he's very knowledgeable with his topics. He has 2 videos that I haven't watched yet. There's the Watch Finder one, which is extremely important for a project I have coming up, and I'm gonna ask you some questions. And then the latest video was, I think, wear your watches before you buy them. So that's some really solid advice. So, what are my thoughts? First of all, your collection is sick. I think that off the bat, you have a lot of pieces that people always want and covet. But you actually have these pieces, and you're a younger guy like myself. It really shows like what hard work and saving can do. For your watch passion. Just every single piece. There's not a single one I would say I dislike. The one that kind of really caught my eye was the vintage Flightmaster, because I never knew that vintage Flightmasters even existed. So maybe one of these mailing lists I come out with, I'll put a bunch of Seiko Flightmasters in there, because that's something I'd love to do a deep dive in. The G-Shock's cool. I had a white G-Shock like I mentioned earlier in middle school, except I lost it like in the middle of the year. The ceramic Submariner, it's just a very lovely piece, man, and just another icon. The Datejust 2, and this is where I start to go into like what I would recommend. So if you want to get a Daytona and you want to get a 1601 blue dial, why, like, what are you gonna do with your Datejust and your Geneve? Because if you get a 1601 blue dial, it's vintage, it's blue, and it's the size, and it's a smaller size. So what are you gonna do with your Datejust? And what are you gonna do with your Geneve? You know, are you gonna sell them? Are you gonna keep one? If it was me, I'd sell the Datejust too. And I think, by the way, I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head, but if you sell the Datejust 2, you should have enough to already pick up a 1601. Maybe sell the Geneve, maybe keep the Geneve. Yeah, what are you gonna, if you get the 1601, what are you gonna do with your Datejust 2? I recommend selling it. The Mega Geneve, I think that the price range for the Geneve is, that's a lot of money, right? A couple $100s in a wristwatch is a lot of money, but it's insignificant in comparison to the other wristwatches that you want in the future. So I would say, at the very least, sell the Datejust 2 for the 1601, or sell the Datejust and the Omega Geneve, because you do have other vintage pieces. So you know, you have a lot of different kind of wristwatches, and you know, that's a decision you're gonna have to make. The Daytona, you know, that's an exceptional wristwatch. Hopefully very soon I will have one on the channel. But yeah, the Datejust, or not the Datejust, the Daytona would be an extremely cool collection. So, you know, if you have this lineup, you got your new vintage pieces. You got vintage, you got the Rollies, you got, you know, it'd be kind of sick because you have the modern Rolexes, you know, you got the ceramic, you got the Daytona, and then you can get, like, you know, a 1601 to get like a kind of like a vintage classic in there. You might keep the Geneve, you might not. I think it's a lovely piece. I love the blue, and it's in immaculate condition. And if you know, the watches that you sold, you know, things happen. But let's go back up to those vintage pieces that you had. The Yoon Hands is sweet. I love it. It is gorgeous, and it is exceptionally refined taste. This is something that I'm definitely gonna have to look into more, and maybe, no, this one is, your Yoon Hands is not in the best condition, but that adds to the character, and I think it's super duper cool. I'm not wearing my little gold long jeans, but I'm wearing the Sarb. But that Yoon Hands is gorgeous. I've been doing a lot of learning about, you know, German writings. So learning about, you know, Germany is a country that I've got that seems to have a really huge impact on history, for good, for bad, just like any other country in the world. And Germany is a culture that produces a lot of very rich and things that have added a lot to the world. The Corteil, I'm not for sure. Is it? I mean, it's in great condition, but it does look like it's a Cartier copycat. But if it's vintage, I mean, it's like, you know, you don't have enough for the Cartier, so it's like, hey, you know, get the Corteil, and I think it's super duper sick. Even if a watch guy's like, hey, is that a Cartier? It's not, and it's Corteil, it's vintage, you know, you can still, you know, I think it's good taste. Well, you said that, I'm pretty sure you're gonna upgrade this to Cartier or JLC, so, you know, I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing that. Who knows, maybe you'll just stick with a Corteil and say, you know what, this is good for now. Yeah, dude, I just want to say really thank you for sending you know, your collection in and taking the time to write out, you know, your watch collecting story. I am enjoying your YouTube channel. I've just been, the other day I unsubscribed from every single YouTube channel that I didn't know the person personally. So, you know, I stayed stubbed to, you know, Laliet, TGV, Aaron, you, just some like other people that I've subscribed to over the years that I actually know in real life, or, you know, through the internet. So yeah, you know, I just haven't had as much time to watch YouTube videos, but one of these days I'll get around to it, to watching the newer stuff that you've put out. Good luck with the channel. You're doing a really good job with it. Your collection's looking sweet. I'm just curious. You know, leave a comment. What are you gonna do with your Datejust 2? You know, are you gonna sell that to fund the 1601? Are you gonna keep the Geneve? The mystery. What's gonna happen? And guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll come out.